Hey everybody, Chris Remmes from Coldwell Banker in Boston here, coming to you with the latest version of my video blog. Today I'm very excited to talk about the topic of property values, and in particular I want to talk about an appraisal and what an appraisal is and what an appraisal isn't. As a real estate agent, one thing that everybody looks to me for is the value of the property, whether you're selling or whether you're buying. So a lot of people, whether you're a seller or you're a buyer, one place most people start is online, and that's a good place to start, but I don't want you to get too wrapped up in the values that you see online. And the reason that is because those values can be very skewed. It's all just done by logarithms. Nobody's been in the property. They're not really correcting for the condition of the property, things like that. So maybe that's a good place to start, but let's not get too involved with that. So the other terms that you need to know when you're buying and selling are assessment, appraisal, and opinion of value. So the first I want to talk about an opinion of value. If you're going to sell a house, what most people do is they'll have a real estate agent come over, they'll walk through the house, they'll talk about the comps, and the real estate agent will provide you with an opinion of value. And that is what the real estate agent thinks that a buyer will make an offer for your property in today's market with today's market conditions. And that is usually to get the highest and best price for your property. The next term that I'm going to want to talk about is the assessment. And what an assessment is the city's value of your property that they use to determine your taxes. So the value that the city has is different from the market value. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but there's usually not a big correlation. The assessed value is usually less than the market value, but not always. And it's really something that you need to not get too concerned with other than for your taxes. The most important thing that you'll need to know as a buyer or seller is the appraisal. So the appraisal usually takes place 2 weeks after you have the accepted offer. Around the time, once you sign your purchase and sale agreement, a bank will send a certified licensed appraiser out to the property to give an independent value of the property. They'll walk through the property, they'll study the comps, and they'll come up with an appraised value of the property. Most of the time, the appraised value of the property comes back as exactly what the property value is in the purchase and sale agreement. Sometimes it's more. If it comes back more, that means, hey, great, I got the property at a good price. If it comes at less, that's when we kind of have a little bit of a problem if you're the seller. Because if you're the seller and the bank says that your property is worth less, that means that the buyer is probably going to try to come back and negotiate the price with you, which isn't a good thing if you're a seller. So if you're a buyer and your appraisal comes in below the agreed upon value, you're going to try to go back to the seller and say, hey, this is the value's not with the property, the appraisal didn't come in, I want it for less money. And if you're a seller, you very well may be able to say, hey, listen, I had multiple offers, there's no way I'm reducing my price. So, you know, a real estate transaction is always a naturally contentious transaction, and this can be one of those specific times. So if you're the buyer and your appraisal comes in less than the value, you can try to have another appraisal done sometimes, is most likely what will happen. You usually can't adjust the appraisal because most appraisers will not change their value at all. But if you have the comps and you know the comps, I had one buyer who said, listen, I know this property is worth the price, and we just had another appraisal done, and the appraisal came back at the price. So those are the three terms that I want you, if you're going to be getting into the real estate market, to become familiar with, because they're different and I don't want you to be confused with them. They are an opinion of value, and that's what a real estate agent estimates the value to be. An assessed value, which is what the city's assessors come out and what your tax rate is based on. And then an appraised value, which is a bank appraiser, and an independent bank appraiser comes out, and that's what they that's what they determine the value of the property to be. So that's it for today's video blog. I hope it was informative and I hope it was helpful for you. And if you have any more questions or you want to leave some comments down below, feel free to do so. You can always reach out to me at 617-398-0018. And if you have any topics that you want to hear about, I'd love to help you out and love to talk about that. And I love all your feedback. Have a great day. Chris Remmes from Boston. Bye-bye now.